Okay, everybody, welcome to the National 1 and National 2 Keller parent meeting. Happy to have you guys here. For those people who are going to miss this meeting, we'll record it and send it out. Bill, Dan, and I are very excited about a great season coming up and excited about getting the swim meet started next week and just want to go over a few things. So starting out, communication.
What, Riches?
We will be sending out group emails.
I want to make sure no one can.
Bill will be sending group emails from time to time each week. And I will be doing the same thing. I will also be sending using the Remind app. So please log in and we will communicate through the Remind app. If you could, if you have any questions on how to log into that, please text or email me. You can also text me. That's a great way to do this and communicate with me as well. Bill would prefer being communicated through email. Our practice schedules. These first few weeks are going to be a little bit hard with water polo. Water polo will die down here starting in mid-October. So please, please understand that we will not have as many practice cancellations due to water polo, but we are renters in our facility. And when water polo has a game, we're really not able to practice. However, yesterday we were able to practice for the first time kind of before a water polo game. So I know next Tuesday, the National 2 team will be practicing before the water polo game. And if you can make it on those days, great. If you cannot, I understand school schedules may not allow you to do that, but we will be able to practice till 4:30, 4:45 during some of those water polo games. This last summer, we had a lot of kids and we were packed into a small amount of lanes. And so we've updated the practice schedule and allowed both National 1 and National 2 to spread out more and have more lane space. So we can optimize performance and have good training groups together. So please understand that we learned our lesson from the summer and we are making changes. Please make sure your children have equipment. They need kickboards, pull buoys, paddles, fins, Arena Pro fins. We don't want to have the old summer league big long fins like you see when they were younger. We want to see the Power Fin Pro Arena fins, please. The other thing we're asking the kids to do is get a strap, a backstroke strap. I sent out that information in the National 1 group chat and email. Please do so. Okay. Our practice schedule, we will have Sundays. We are offering Sunday practices because of the amount of practice schedules or inconsistency in our practice schedules. Part of this is early on into the season. We get a lot of practices canceled. So we definitely need to have that extra day of practice. If you're not able to make Sundays, please communicate with your coaches. If you don't swim high school, or we may be able to hook you up with a Thursday afternoon practice for the National 1 group. For the National 2 group, we may be able to hook you up with a practice. It just all depends on lane space, availability, and kind of what's going on. So please talk to your coaches about when you're going to be missing practices and if there's possible day you can make something up. We will be moving National 2's Wednesday morning practice to Thursday morning. Due to the lack of attendance and people being able to make that practice with high school expectations and different things like that, we're going to combine the National 1 and 2 groups on that Thursday morning. So please do your best to attend those practices. High school swimming. So let's talk a little bit about high school swimming. Please understand that we believe that high school swimming is important. We do also want, when you're with your high school coach, you are with your high school coach. So if we're at swim meets and you have a high school swim meet, and I may show up, or Dan or Bill may show up to some TISCAs, some districts, some regionals, some high school state, please understand that we want you guys to be talking to your high school coaches. Feel free to text us as much as you guys want or communicate with us, but please, after your swims, don't come up and just talk to us. Please talk to your high school coaches. If you guys see us in the stands and want to say hi or things like that, we'll be happy to talk to you guys, but we want you to be coached by your high school coaches as much as possible. As far as high school swimming and attendances and swim meets, we understand what each high school, their expectation is for practices. Please follow through with what they expect. The big thing is just please communicate with us what during the normal school week, how that's going to work. I do want you guys to, during breaks, do your best to swim with club swimming, and I would like to see that you guys are coming to our practices instead of high school practices. Now, for high school swim meets, please go to your high school swim meets and do the best you can there. The big one I know is Fall Classic. We will be going for, that will be a meet that we suit up. That's the first weekend in November. There may be high school meets that weekend. I would prefer you to come to the club meet so we can have you guys swim specific events to prepare you for junior nationals and or your December meet. I feel like that meet weekend is very important. So please work with your high school coach and see if you guys can attend. Sorry. If there's a conflict between your high school team and your club team, talk to both your high school coach and your club coach about meets specifically. So we will be, at least with practice schedules, we will be on fall break schedule for Keller ISD. They have a week, I believe it's the second week in October. We will be sending out that practice schedule very soon. I know the Southlake kids and other school districts are not out of school during that time. Therefore, we will run some extra morning practices from like 6:30, 6:45 to 9. We will probably lift with the majority of the groups in the morning. And then in the afternoon practice will stay the same because of our other high schools will not have the same schedules. Southlake and Keller this year, those are two main school districts. I understand we have other people in private schools and different other school districts around. However, these are our main two school districts. Their practice schedule, their school schedules do not line up as well as they have lined up for the past. So Keller ISD gets out for Christmas break time, that December break, earlier. and Southlake goes back later. So we're going to work with both these groups of people and make sure that they have the best training possible. And we're going to use this first break in October to run some extra practices and see how this goes. And then based on how this goes, we will move forward. So, but high school swimming is important. We are going to talk here about goals and things like that shortly, but please understand that we want your kids to reach their goals. So if that goal is high school swimming or that goal is club swimming, we want them to prepare for their goals at the end of the season. Well, other thing that I want to talk about a little bit about high school swimming is it's very, very difficult to swim super fast at every single high school meet in the championship meet season. So for all the non-private school kids, private school, you usually have a time finaled and it's one day. However, for public school swimmers, we go through districts, regions, state, everything's 2 weeks apart, and then sectionals is 2 weeks later. We are going to pick one meet for your child to go fast in, and then based on how they swim at that meet, we may rest them a little bit more for the next meet, or we may prepare them for sectionals. We need to have a plan and a focus. And I believe that I understand high school state's important, but if your child's only swimming a 50 free on a 200 freestyle relay or on the medley relay where their time isn't even going to count, and they may not even get a legal split, it may not be something that they want to go all in for, and they may want to focus a little bit more on sectionals that can help them in the long term. So, but no matter what, we will work with your child's goals and make sure they reach their goals that they're looking to do. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the meet schedule coming up. So, because most of our kids swim high school, we do balance some of the high school swimming with our club swimming. So what we will be doing this October, next week, we will be swimming at the core senior meet. Probably won't even take out my stopwatch. We're just kind of looking how the swimmers are swimming. It's our first exposure to short course racing. And for the coaches, it's just to see where they're at. We're not going to rest for any of these swim meets or for this swim meet at all. Then we will have Fall Classic. Fall Classic is a prelim final meet that starts on a Friday. I do expect kids to miss school on Friday. The cool thing about Fall Classic is it's a very short session on Friday. So if your child needs to go to the meet Friday morning and then go back to school between prelims and finals, I understand what they need to do and they can do that. But I really feel it's important for your children to swim that day. The 200 freestyle is that day, and it's the first event. That coincides with Winter Juniors coming up in December, and the 800 free relay is the first event. So I do want you to understand that we are going to put a lot of emphasis on the 200 freestyle at Fall Classic. So please, if you want to be on one of those relays, I highly recommend showing up that day for Fall Classic. Fall Classic, as well as our December meet, will be prelim finals, and you will miss that. That's the Mansfield meet. For those swimmers who don't make Winter Junior Nationals, okay, prior to that meet. That meet will be a little bit different than what we've had before. It's going to be more of an age group meet because they're splitting Core Classic and the Mansfield Senior meet. Basically, they're splitting the LSC in half, and we are going to go to the west side, which is in Mansfield, and the east side of town will go to Garland. So that's going to be a little bit different meet. We will give our kids some rest for that meet, for that December Mansfield meet, but we will not rest those kids as much as the junior national kids will rest. Part of the reason for that is those kids will be swimming later on at high school districts a few weeks later. And we're more focused on long-term development for those kids rather than just what they can pop in a December meet, but what their entire season is. Just to fast forward a little bit towards districts, I do want you guys to understand at least the South Lake, Keller, and Northwest ISD districts is very, very difficult. A lot of the kids are in our National 1 and 2 groups here at LAC, and some of these people are going to have to rest and possibly rest for a couple of weeks to make it out of districts because it's only top 6 who make it out of districts. So Bill and I really don't want to have our kids rest a whole lot in early December, because then they can get in some good quality training blocks before they rest again in January. So that's part of the reasoning behind that. So let's back up a little bit. Let's talk about Winter Junior Nationals. We have 35 swimmers attending Winter Junior Nationals. This is our biggest team we've ever had attend Winter Junior Nationals. We're very excited about this trip. It is going to be in Chicago in the month of December. We are planning on leaving on Tuesday. Most kids are going to probably miss most of Tuesday because we're flying out at noon, 12:30-ish. Okay. The reason for this is because traveling to Chicago in the month of December can cause problems. And with as many travel delays as we have seen around the country over the last 6 months, I think it's important for us to get there early. Your children may have an opportunity to swim on relays on Wednesday. There's the 200 medley relay and the 800 free relay. All right. We will be picking those relays based on TISCA and Fall Classic. Everybody needs to understand we are looking at a level playing field. Those kids who don't swim high school don't have the TISCA meet. We will be weighing a lot of things on Fall Classic, but the coaches will make a decision based on this and communicate this with the kids as well. So most everybody will be swimming on Thursday and or time trialing on Thursday at Winter Junior Nationals. So coming in Tuesday and getting there a half day early before a full day of transitioning to the meet, even if you're swimming in a relay or not, it's important for you to get there that Tuesday night. We are putting a lot of stock into this meet and making sure the kids will be swimming fast at this meet. For those, we will be doing team travel. I sent out information on team travel for Winter Junior Nationals. Please sign up. If you have any questions about traveling, I know some people may be flying back a little bit early on Sunday. We have no problem with that. We can get you to the airport if needed, because I know some people need some time to do homework, and we also need some time to but we are doing a little bit of some sightseeing on Sunday, just so the kids can have a little bit of fun that Sunday before they come back. We will plan on taking a couple days off for those swimmers who are attending Winter Juniors. That Monday and Tuesday, I do not expect them to be at practice. They have just missed 4 days of school, so I expect them to be working on school stuff. And I understand finals are at that time, so it's not a problem for them to be missing some practice time for studying for finals. But just please communicate with me. We will start back practice on a Wednesday and Thursday that week, just to kind of get the ball rolling. Those kids who swam at the December MAC meet will have practice most likely that Tuesday. We may just take that Monday off totally. Let's see. For at least team travel. So for Winter Juniors, if you make a cut, we are not taking relay only swimmers because the meet does not allow relay only swimmers anymore this year. So last year we could bring relay only swimmers. Now the meet information says there are no relay only swimmers for winter juniors. Therefore, you have to have an individual qualifying time to make the meet. So if you're a person who makes their first junior national time standard at Fall Classic, we will be able to make changes to our travel schedule and add you to team travel. The same goes for TISCA. You should be able to add and be added to the meet and also added to team travel. Okay. The big thing is going to be if you go to the Mansfield meet and you make a junior national cut there, do you want to swim at juniors a few days later? We are going to have you do parent travel unless you can attach to our flight, and we have space available at both our hotel and in our cars. They don't allow 15 passenger vans in the state of Illinois, so we are doing Suburbans. Right now we have 6 coaches, so we have basically 42 spots we can fill up. So if all that works out, we can have somebody do team travel. But if you get your junior national cut at the Mansfield meet, which is a few days before, you will most likely have to do parent travel to that meet. And we'll work that out. If your child's in that situation, please communicate with me on what your plan is. Let's have a plan prior to Mansfield to know what you're going to do. So if your child is close to cuts, this is something that we need to discuss after Fall Classic. If you're not going to swim at TISCA in November, or if you're a non-high school swimmer, doing that as well. So okay, and then continuing with meet schedules, we will be swimming at Greater Southwest for any swimmers who don't make regionals or high school state. That will be your prep meet prior to going to sectionals. There is the Senior Cup for any of the swimmers who don't make sectionals. The Senior Cup is a prelim final meet in Garland. Well, it's been in Garland the last few years. We'll know a little bit more on Sunday when the meet calendar is finalized, exactly where that meet is going to be. But that will be a meet that if you don't have sectional cuts, you will go to that swim meet. Lastly, sectionals is here at home in Justin. So we get to sleep in our beds and swim at home here. Fast forward that towards this summer, we will be done July 27th. The Senior Showdown is the same meet that we went to West Virginia. We're rotating that meet to us this summer. And everyone, junior nationals, Olympic trials qualifiers, everybody on our team will be going to that meet. We will not be going to summer juniors or summer nationals because Olympic trials is in June. This is a combined swim meet in the summer in California, and it's not that fast. You guys have paid to go to the Southern Premier meet last summer or last spring, and then you guys also paid to go out to West Virginia. We understand the finances and stuff, so we're hosting people here. This is going to be a great meet for our swimmers. We should get second swims, and we should have a lot of top end fast swimming for the top end kids. So we have people coming from the West Coast and the East Coast to that meet. So it's not going to be too big, but it's going to be a good quality meet. So you guys will be done July 27th, which is, I believe, the opening ceremonies of the Olympics, or the first day of the Olympics. If you want to go on vacation, go on vacation. We will be starting the next quad nice and slow. in the month of September and late August. So I just want to give you guys a heads up. You can have some vacation prior to school starting. So the one thing I do want to tell you is because it is an Olympic year, we will be doing long course swimming starting in December. We will have a December Pro Series meet here the second week of January. It will start Wednesday and go till Saturday. I will be sending out travel information next week. We are they just posted the meet information, and we will sign up for that meet in November. These are Winter Junior National qualifying times. Please have your child communicate to me this next week, and I will do the same thing with them if they're planning on attending that meet. That meet is a long course meet. Some swimmers who have Winter Junior National time should be attending that, and some should not. So let's talk about what your child's goals and where they need to be at that time, especially because high school swimming is going on at that time or pretty close to that time. And do they need to be going out to Tennessee and traveling, or just focusing on what they need to do to prepare for their high school season? We will be swimming long course starting in December. And moving forward, our Sundays moving forward in December will be long course. We will also have some extra practice schedules over Christmas, around Christmas Day. We will not do it on Christmas Day, but we'll have a little bit more on the 24th and 26th and 27th. More practices offered for those swimmers to give them the opportunity to swim long course. The high schools will not be practicing at the time. We'll have a little bit more space available. And so we're going to give those kids a little bit more opportunity to train long course because they're about to race it a few weeks later. We will try to swim long course as much as possible during the December, January, and February months, understanding that we will be resting for high school state and sectionals and things like that. The last thing I want to say is I am working for those swimmers who are close to Olympic trials. We may have those swimmers not attend sectionals and go do an altitude training camp at the Olympic Training Center. We will find out about the Olympic Training Center trip. It's going to be probably 8 to 10 athletes. There's not going to be a whole lot of athletes, maybe 12, that will be a part of this, but I do want people just to understand that during spring break, instead of going to sectionals, those swimmers may be going to an altitude training camp. Dan and I will both be, and Bill will all three of us will be at sectionals, and we will send another coach up there, at least for the first few days, to get them adapted and trained to the training center. But the plan would be to leave that Thursday, since I believe everybody has Friday off of spring break, going into spring break. So the plan is to kind of start a training camp then, get them ready to go for their trials cuts. We will be attending the Pro Series meet in San Antonio in April. Parents, it's one of the most beautiful times of the year in San Antonio. It's a great meet to attend. We'll also be attending a meet in Austin in May, and that will be one of the last chance trials times to go for cuts. And then we will be sending about 150 kids to Olympic trials, competing in a meet in Indianapolis the first 3 days of Olympic trials, and then we will go watch 3 days of Olympic trials. I know a lot of your swimmers will have the opportunity to be a part of that event. I think that's a great event for them to watch their teammates swim. Cooper, Maximus, and Avery will all be swimming during that time, so they'll be able to cheer on their teammates and hopefully other teammates. That I believe we're going to have a good amount of kids make trials cuts this year, especially with the performances we saw this summer. So I'm very excited about that. So we have a lot of different things going on. I'm going to put out a meet schedule written down with all this information over the next couple of weeks. I apologize. I've been out of town doing a lot of different things, but I will be able to send that stuff out. Dry land. We will be, we're ramping up our dry land. Please make sure your children are showing up with proper footwear, water, and gear for dry land. Now, Keller High School kids. I am working with Coach Jamie, and they will have the opportunity to do dry land during their time in high school. We have a lot of kids, okay? Because not only National 1, but it's National 1 and 2. We also have some South Lake and older kids who have the opportunity to get out of school somewhere around 12 to 1. So during that 3:15 time period, I don't want to have the weight room overcrowded. So Jamie and I have worked on how we're going to work on that. Thursday afternoons are my time, are the LAC National 1 time off. Coach Jamie will be running practices for those kids focused on relay starts and things like that. I know the South Lake kids usually have one day off in the mornings. I would prefer that to be Wednesdays because we have such a big Wednesday night practice. I feel like that's something that has worked very effectively with Coach Murphy. And then on Thursday morning, Coach Murphy calls it being a cruiser, not a bruiser. That's what we usually have done in the past. So these things have worked out well. I really feel high school swimming is a great thing for these kids, and I believe this is something to reach their goals and goal times. Let's see. We will have goal meetings, and we've done goal setting. I will have goal meetings with the National 1 group. Coach Bill and I have already sent out goal sheets for our swimmers. We've received feedback from them and the people who filled out goal sheets. That's great. Everybody else, you need to turn in your goal sheets if you have not done so. And Coach Bill will be turning back the goal sheets with comments on his. I will be doing goal meetings with my group, and we will go from there. Those will start next week, and the feedback will come back starting next week. College talks. Coach Pishka will be doing his biannual college talk that I think if you have a freshman or a sophomore is something that you want to listen to. I will be happy to talk to any of the sophomores and juniors and set up college talks. I would like to do this sometime in November to March. Especially, I like to have the juniors go first because they're a little bit more need to talk about college things quickly. And what I like to do is do it with the family and the swimmers. And I have about a 45-minute talk I talk about on the college recruiting process and individualize it kind of with your family. Sophomores, if we wait till the springtime, it's not a problem because college coaches can't talk to you till then. Let's see. We do have the opportunity for John Janashko to come out. He's the massage therapist for the national team. We've had him come out before. I will let you guys know if there's opportunities out there and when he will come back. He's one person. He does not have tons of availability, especially in the fall. Part of the reason is he's the SMU football massage therapist, as well as the SMU swimming massage therapist. So we have to share him a whole lot. But I will let you know when those things come out. We will be doing some team activities. Our group parents are amazing. They have done some great things in the mornings where the kids have had breakfasts on a Saturday morning. We will be doing a hockey game, a Dallas Stars game on Friday, December 29th. We did a basketball game last year at the Mavs game. This was a huge success. We had a lot of fun doing this. We've already secured tickets for this, and we're going to send information out about this event. We would love to have you and your family come out and be a part of this event. It's a great way for us to socialize and have some fun outside of the pool. So those are the last thing I want to talk about is we are an arena team. We are an arena sponsored team. Our swimmers at this level see the biggest benefit from being an arena sponsored team. If you're a junior national qualifier, you're going to get some free things as well as a national qualifier. You're going to get some free suits, discounts on different things. Futures qualifiers, you guys get discounts on tech suits, as well as other discounts. I'm not going to go specifically into all this. All this is written on our website under guidelines and policies. You can see all the information we have. We will be starting to reach out to the Winter Junior National qualifiers about this. Now, with that being said, next week, we have our first swim meet. We are not wearing tech suits. The expectation is, unless a swimmer walks into the locker room, the suit breaks, and they walk out with a broken suit, they need to wear an LAC, a black LAC arena, a black LAC logo suit that is an arena suit. We will not let them swim if they do not have that suit. You have 1 week to go to Extreme and pick up that suit and order that suit. We have Extreme at the Keller site. So if you call them up and make sure they have a LAC logo suit, they will have it there at the facility and you can pick it up. I know Kristen Sanisoff works there, and you are on this call. Do you know your hours for next week, Kristen, for the Extreme kiosk there in Keller? What I will do is I will make sure that that information gets posted, or if you have any questions, text me. But girls and guys, you will not be allowed to swim if you do not wear an LAC logo practice suit. It's a black suit. It's a team suit. This is our attire. All right. As far as exceptions for technical suits, you must get that done prior to your championship meet. I do not do a lot of exceptions, but based on swimmers' bodies, we will see how that works. But the expectation is to be in an arena tech suit. I like them to be logoed, if at all possible. Please understand you cannot wear an LAC logo tech suit at a high school meet. All right. So those are that's pretty much everything. Does anybody have any questions? Wow, awesome. Feel free to post your hand or put something in the chat if you have a question. Otherwise, thank you all very much for the time. Please feel free to reach out to me by text message. That's the easiest and fastest way to get information. Email takes me a little bit longer to get back, but I will do my best to immediately respond during text message. It takes about a day or two with email, depending on the day that you email me. So thank you all very much. Looking for a great season, and let's go Lakeside. Thank you.